Hello, Carter family. This is Christoph with Kaiserworks presenting the Carter Kitchen. We're looking here at this first slide at the as-built drawings. This is your existing kitchen here in the center, the U shape with the sink and the stove. And then to the right here, we have the existing dining room. And then further ahead here, we have that recess that you step down into to go through the doors. This is the window that looks out to the pool. These two lines here are an existing overhead structural beam that is currently wrapped in a soffit. This next slide is our proposed design. We've actually gone through 3 different design iterations and we've landed on this one as what we feel is the strongest plan for the house. We are proposing a 17-foot long central island that becomes the centerpiece of both the kitchen and the home. We really see this as a focal point for the home. And we wanted to do a large move because we have some large moves already in the house. For example, this living room off to the west here is very long, and we'd like to sort of counterweight that with a big move in the kitchen. Another thing that we noticed as we were doing our as-built drawings in this space is there's not a lot of natural light in the center of the home, and that's something that we'd like to change to make this a bright focal point. So directly above the central island, we're suggesting 2 skylights. Here we're showing one, here's the second one over here. We're showing these as 2 foot by 4 foot. They could be smaller. These could potentially be 2 foot square skylights. Here, this dashed line is the beam that goes over the island, and we're proposing that we expose that beam and let the wood be wood. These circles that you see on the plan here are can lights, so we're showing 2 rows of can lights to bring a lot of dimmable incandescent light into the space, and then we're also proposing one central linear pendant light that hangs above this island. You can comfortably seat 5 people for a somewhat more informal dining experience, but this is also a perfect spot for homework or for just sitting and doing work on a laptop. We're showing additional chairs here. This entire west side of the island is something that you can sit at a bar stool with. As a backdrop to that large island, we're showing one continuous wall of kitchen millwork that you pass through en route to the kitchen, or that you pass through en route to your existing pantry area in the back here. And this can really stay what it is today, or you can reconfigure as needed. We're showing, and this again would be an add alternate. Some of these things are you can take them or subtract them based on cost and other variables, but so I would put the skylights in that category. They don't make or break the design, but we really do feel natural light sort of washing down on top of the central island would be a very strong move, and it again brings a lot of natural light and energy into the center of the home. And likewise, this frosted glass door is a top hung door that we're proposing that would cap visibility into this space. And the idea really is that this wall of cabinets becomes a nice monolithic backdrop that offers a niche for your oven, that offers pass through into another space, and then here again into another space, in addition to all the storage that it offers. I'm going to show you a sketch. This is a pretty quick sketch, but I think it does a good job of describing three-dimensionally, somewhat three-dimensionally, what we're talking about. Here we're looking at the existing kitchen. We can see this soffit above. We're proposing that this soffit goes away entirely, and the only element that's dropping down to that level is going to be this beam after it's exposed, and the pendant light that will hang directly below it. So from the same perspective, and I'll toggle back and forth on this, here you can see the central island with the cluster of 5 chairs here at the end. This is closest to the window, so there's natural light coming in from the window. Directly above that, you can see the skylight that is cut into the higher plane of the ceiling. And then here's that secondary skylight that's positioned on the other end of the beam, or other side of the beam. This wall, which is existing, the back side of your storage closet, we're seeing as an art wall. And just by positioning a really beautiful piece of art there with some directional lights shining on it, that will become a nice feature wall and nicely sort of a nice terminus to the linear aspect of both the light and the island. And then here we can see this large wall of millwork or cabinets that march along the backside and create a nice backdrop to our kitchen scene. Again, trying to do as much as we can to let this read as sort of one solid. We don't want to chop it up with materiality, but let this really read as one as one solid. Here is the frosted glass door, so this could be closed and you would just sort of get luminous light flowing through that frosted glass door. And then here we can see the pendant light that hangs directly above, probably 36 inches above the counter surface. And that helps create some intimacy when you're sitting at the island. These next drawings will be more useful to look at in the PDF format, so the PDF that's been sent with the same email registers with the video. But this is an elevation of your kitchen cabinet wall. We need to dial in what the exact name brand would be, but we're showing a panel-ready refrigerator. What we're showing here is a rather large one. This would be a Fisher Paykel or a Sub-Zero size refrigerator, but panel-ready meaning we can match whatever cabinet face we're doing on everything else would go on top of the refrigerator. And so the refrigerator, instead of it looking like a big appliance in the room and commanding some attention, it really goes away and becomes part of that backdrop. On the right side here we're showing full height millwork, and then again we're showing full height millwork on the left side. This is the pass-through into the existing pantry area. This drawing directly below that is the same drawing. Again, we're simply dropping the island in the foreground as you would see it from the living room. There's another sheet here which gets into the millwork drawings and how we're suggesting these cabinets get detailed, but it's basically a slab face, very modern and clean are the lines we're suggesting. You can see in this precedent image here, this is simply a suggestion of material. We're looking, it was our thought to go in a very light white color for the millwork face, and then per our discussion on site, a stone or a Caesar stone for the counter surfaces. And we're showing two rows of options here. So these are the more natural stones with veining present in them, and these can be synthetic or natural. And here's the more processed Caesar stone options. So I think anything in this field of options I think would be suitable for the palette that you have in your house. I recall when we talked on site, you were, I think, leaning more towards a darker counter surface, something like this or even darker. I would actually hedge towards lighter, again, because we want this to become a bright focal point and sort of central, a bit of a lantern for the home, because it is central in the home. It's embedded, and it's not, for example, at the edge of the house with a big window wall. So because that's true, I would err towards bringing in natural light and also using lighter materials. But we can chat about that some more. This is another precedent image that we said we thought simply just, it's really about the materiality, these cabinet faces, which you'll be able to see more large and clearly on the PDF. So that is what we've got to present to you, and I'm excited to hear your thoughts on this. Thank you.